Rama Rama Hare Hare. And before I begin speaking, I'd like to request your blessings so that I can speak something worthwhile, and also the blessings of those who may be listening online. And we'd also like to invoke the auspiciousness of the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So now we're going to recite the Sanskrit. If anyone would like to follow along, it's text 54 in chapter 2, and you can also recite the Sanskrit as well. Arjuna uvacha stita pragnatya kabasa samadhi stasya keshavaha stita di kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. So, Arjuna uvacha stita pragnasya kabasa samadhi stasya keshavaha stita di kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. So we'll continue on to the translation and purport. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak? And what is his language? How does he sit? And how does he walk? And purport. There are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation. Similarly, one who is Krishna conscious has his particular nature, talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. As a rich man has his symptoms by which he is known as a rich man, and a diseased man has his symptoms by which he is known as diseased, or as a learned man has his symptoms, so a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various dealings. One can know his specific symptoms from the Bhagavad Gita. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks, for speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak, and certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. The immediate symptom of a Krishna-conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow, as stated below. So, as stated below is the next verse, so we're going to leave that until tomorrow. So that's as an important subject matter about how do we actually recognize someone in Krishna consciousness, and what are their characteristics and so on. So there's many different symptoms, but I'd like to actually today I'd like to read from a conversation from Srila Prabhupada. It's entitled "Saints and Swindlers," and it's in the book "The Science of Self-Realization." So I'm just going to read this, and it will very nicely explain in terms of actually seeking spiritual life, seeking a guru, and how to recognize someone who is actually authentic. So this is entitled Saints and Swindlers. Every day the number of people interested in practicing yoga and meditation increases by the thousands. Unfortunately, a person looking for a suitable guide is likely to encounter a bewildering array of magicians, self-styled gurus, and self-proclaimed gods. In an interview with the London Times, Srila Prabhupada explains how a sincere seeker can tell the difference between a counterfeit and a genuine spiritual guide. So we have a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and a reporter. So the reporter: Your Grace, it seems that more people than ever are seeking some kind of spiritual life. I wonder if you could tell me why this is so. And Srila Prabhupada: the desire for spiritual life is an absolutely natural hankering. Because we are spirit souls, we cannot be happy in the material atmosphere. If you take a fish out of water, it cannot be happy on land. Similarly, if we are without spiritual consciousness, we can never be happy. Today, so many people are after scientific advancement and economic development, but they are not happy because they are not the actual goals of life. Many young people are realizing this, and they are rejecting materialistic life and are trying to search for a spiritual goal of life. Unless you take to Krishna consciousness, you cannot be happy. That is a fact. Therefore, we invite everyone to study and understand this great movement. And reporter: What frankly worries me is that since the arrival of Britain some time ago of an Indian yogi who was the first guru that most people have ever heard of, a lot of gurus have suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Sometimes I get the feeling that not all of them are as genuine as they ought to be. Would it be right to warn people who are thinking of taking up spiritual life that they should make sure that they have a genuine guru to teach them? And Srila Prabhupada: Yes, of course. To search out a guru is very nice, but you want a cheap guru, or if you want to be cheated, then you will find many cheating gurus. But if you are sincere, you will find a sincere guru. Because people want everything very cheaply, they are cheated. We ask our students to refrain from illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. People think that this is all very difficult, a botheration. But if someone else says, you may do whatever nonsense you like, simply take my mantra, then people will like him. The point is that people want to be cheated, and therefore cheaters come. No one wants to undergo any austerity. Human life is meant for austerity, but no one is prepared to undergo austerity. Consequently, cheaters come and say, no austerity, whatever you like, you do. Simply pay me, and I'll give you some mantra, and you'll become God in 6 months. All this is going on. If you want to be cheated like this, the cheaters will come. And the reporter: What about the person who seriously wants to find spiritual life, but who also happens to finish up with the wrong guru? And please feel free to ask any questions if any questions arise. Okay. If you simply want an ordinary education, you have to devote so much time, labor, and understanding to it. Similarly, if you are going to take to spiritual life, you must become serious. How is it that simply by some wonderful mantras, someone can become God in 6 months? Why do people want something like that? This means that they want to be cheated. And reporter: How can a person tell he has a genuine guru? And Srila Prabhupada: Can any of my students answer this question? So one disciple says, once I remember John Lennon asked you, how will I know who is a genuine guru? And you answered, just find out the one who is most addicted to Krishna. He is genuine. Srila Prabhupada: Yes, The genuine guru is God's representative, for he speaks about God and nothing else. The genuine guru is he who has no interest in materialistic life. He is after God and God only. That is one of the tests of a genuine guru, Brahma Nishnam. He is absorbed in the absolute truth. In the Mundaka Upanishad it is stated, Strotayam Brahma Nishnam. The genuine guru is well versed in the scriptures and Vedic knowledge, and he is completely dependent on Brahman. He should know what Brahman, spirit is, and how to become situated in Brahman. These signs are given in the Vedic literature. As I said before, the real guru is God's representative. He represents the Supreme Lord, just as a viceroy represents a king. The real guru will not manufacture anything. Everything he says is in accordance with the scriptures and the previous acharyas. He will not give you a mantra and tell you that you will become God in 6 months. This is not a guru's business. A guru's business is to canvass everyone to become a devotee of God. That is the sum and substance of a real guru's business. Indeed, he has no other business. He tells whomever he sees, please become God conscious. If he canvasses somehow or other on behalf of God and tries to get everyone to become a devotee of God, he is a genuine guru. And reporter, what about a Christian priest? And Srila Prabhupada, Christian, Mohammedan, Hindu, it doesn't matter. If he is simply speaking on behalf of God, he is a guru. Lord Jesus Christ, for instance, he canvassed people saying, just try to love God. Anyone, it doesn't matter who, be he Hindu, Muslim or Christian, he is a guru if he convinces people to love God. That is the test. The guru never says, I am God, or I will make you God. The real guru says, I am a servant of God, and I will make you a servant of God also. It doesn't matter how the guru is dressed. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whoever can impart knowledge about Krishna is a spiritual master. A genuine spiritual master simply tries to get people to become devotees of Krishna or God. He has no other business. And reporter, but the bad gurus. And Srila Prabhupada, and what is a bad guru? Reporter, a bad guru just wants some money or some fame. Srila Prabhupada, well, if he is bad, how can he become a guru? And laughter. How can iron become gold? Actually, a guru cannot be bad. For if someone is bad, he cannot be a guru. You cannot say bad guru. That is a contradiction. What you have to do is simply try to understand what a genuine guru is. The definition of a genuine guru is that he is simply talking about God, that's all. If he's talking about some other nonsense, then he is not a guru. A guru cannot be bad. That is not a question. There is no question of a bad guru any more than a red guru or a white guru. Guru means genuine guru. All we have to know is that the genuine guru is simply talking about God and trying to get people to become God's devotees. If he does this, he is genuine. And reporter, if I wanted to be initiated into your society, what would I have to do? Srila Prabhupada, first of all, you'd have to give up illicit sex life. Reporter, does that include all sex life? What is illicit sex life? Srila Prabhupada, illicit sex is sex outside of marriage. Animals have sex with no restrictions, but in human society, there are restrictions. In every country, in every religion, there is some system of restricting sex life. You would also have to give up all intoxicants, including tea, cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana, anything that intoxicates. Reporter, anything else? Srila Prabhupada, you'd also have to give up eating meat, eggs, and fish. And you'd have to give up gambling as well. Unless you gave up these 4 sinful activities, you could not be initiated. And reporter, how many followers do you have throughout the world? And Srila Prabhupada, for anything genuine, the followers may be very few. For something rubbish, the followers may be many. Still, we have about 5,000 initiated disciples. So this is in the 1970s. Reporter, is the Krishna consciousness movement growing all the time? Srila Prabhupada, yes, it is growing, but slowly. This is because we have so many restrictions. People do not like restrictions. Reporter, where is your following the greatest? Srila Prabhupada, in the United States, Europe, South America and Australia, and of course in India, there are millions who practice Krishna consciousness. And reporter, could you tell me what the goal of your movement is? Srila Prabhupada, the purpose of this Krishna consciousness movement is to awaken man's original consciousness. At the present moment, our consciousness is designated. Someone is thinking, I am an Englishman, and another is thinking, I am an American. Actually, we do not belong to any of these designations. We are all part and parcel of God. That is our real identity. If everyone simply comes to that consciousness, all the problems of the world will be solved. Then we shall come to know that we are one, the same quality of spirit soul. The same quality of spirit soul is within everyone, although it may be in different dress. This is the explanation given in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna consciousness is actually a purificatory process. Sarvapadi Vinir Muktam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Majjalila 19:170. Its purpose is to make people free from all designations, tatparatvena nirmalam. When our consciousness becomes purified of all designations, the activities we carry out with our purified senses make us perfect. Eventually, we reach the ideal perfection of human life. Krishna consciousness is also a very simple process. It is not necessary to become a great philosopher, scientist, or whatever. We need only chant the holy name of the Lord. Understanding His personality, His name, and His qualities are all absolute. Krishna consciousness is a great science. Unfortunately, in the universities, there is no department for this science. Therefore, we invite all serious men who are interested in the welfare of human society to understand this great movement, and if possible, take part in it and cooperate with us. The problems of the world will be solved. This is also the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita, the most important and authoritative book of spiritual knowledge. Many of you have heard of the Bhagavad Gita. Our movement is based on it. Our movement is approved by all great acharyas in India, Ramanuja Acharya, Madhyava Acharya, Lord Chaitanya, and so many others. You are all representatives of newspapers, so I ask you to try to understand this movement as far as possible for the good of all human society. And reporter, do you think your movement is the only way to know God? Srila Prabhupada, yes. Reporter, how are you assured of that? Srila Prabhupada, from the authorities and from God, Krishna. Krishna says, Sarma Dharman Parityagya Manikam Saranam Vraja Aham Sam Sarva Pape Byo Mokshayamin Masuchaha, from the Bhagavad Gita 1866. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction, and do not fear. And reporter, surrender. Does surrender mean that someone would have to leave his family? Srila Prabhupada, no. And reporter, but suppose I were to become an initiate, wouldn't I have to come and live in the temple? Srila Prabhupada, not necessarily. Reporter, I can stay at home? Srila Prabhupada, oh yes. And reporter, what about work? Would I have to give up my job? And Srila Prabhupada, no, you simply have to give up your bad habits and chant the Hare Krishna mantra on these beads, that's all. And another question, would I have to give up any financial support? No, that is your voluntary wish. If you give, that's all right. If you don't, sorry, not if you'd have to give up, but would you have to give any voluntary support? And no, that is your voluntary wish. If you give, that's all right. If you don't, we don't mind. We do not depend on anyone's financial contribution. We depend on Krishna. Reporter, I wouldn't have to give any money at all. Srila Prabhupada, no. And reporter, it's just one of the main things that distinguishes the genuine guru from the fake guru. Srila Prabhupada, yes, a genuine guru is not a businessman. He is a representative of God. Whatever God says, the guru repeats. He does not speak otherwise. Reporter, would you expect to find a real guru, say, traveling in a Rolls Royce and staying in a penthouse suite in a classy hotel? Srila Prabhupada, sometimes people provide us with a room in a first-class hotel, but we generally stay in our own temples. We have some 100 temples around the world, so we don't require to go to any hotels. Reporter, I wasn't trying to make any accusations. I was merely trying to illustrate that I think your warning is a valid one. There are so many people interested in finding a spiritual life, and at the same time, there are a lot of people interested in cashing in on the guru business. Srila Prabhupada, you are under the impression that spiritual life means voluntarily accepting poverty. Reporter, well, I don't know. Srila Prabhupada, a poverty-stricken man may be materialistic, and a wealthy man may be very spiritual. Spiritual life does not depend on either poverty or wealth. Spiritual life is transcendental. Consider Arjuna. For instance, Arjuna was a member of a royal family, yet he was a pure devotee of God. And in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam, imam rajarseo vidhu. This supreme science was received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. In the past, all kings who were saintly understood spiritual science. Therefore, spiritual life does not depend on one's material condition. Whatever a person's material condition may be, he may be a king or a pauper, he can still understand spiritual life. Generally, people do not know what spiritual life is, and therefore they unnecessarily criticize us. If I asked you what spiritual life is, how would you answer? Reporter, well, I'm not sure. Srila Prabhupada, although you do not know what spiritual life is, you still say, it is this or it is that. But you first should know what spiritual life is. Spiritual life begins when you understand that you are not your body. This is the real beginning of spiritual life. By seeing the difference between yourself and your body, you come to understand that you are a spirit soul, aham brahmasmi. Reporter, do you think this knowledge should be a part of everyone's education? Srila Prabhupada, yes. People should first be taught what they are. Are they their bodies or something else? That is the beginning of education. Now everyone is educated to think he is his body. Because someone actually gets an American body, he thinks, I am an American. This is just like thinking, I am a red shirt. Just because you are wearing a red shirt. You are not a red shirt. You are a human being. Similarly, this body is like a shirt or coat over the real person, the spirit soul. If we recognize ourselves simply by our bodily shirt or coat, then we have no spiritual education. Reporter, do you think that such education should be given in schools? Srila Prabhupada, yes, in schools, colleges, and universities. There is an immense literature on this subject, an immense fund of knowledge. What is actually required is that the leaders of society come forward to understand this movement. Reporter: have you ever had people come to you who had previously been involved with a fake guru? Sri Prabhupada: yes, there are many. Reporter: were their spiritual lives in any way spoiled by the fake gurus? Sri Prabhupada: no, they were genuinely seeking something spiritual, and that was their qualification. God is within everyone's heart, and as soon as someone genuinely seeks Him, He helps that person find a genuine guru. Reporter: have the real gurus like yourself ever tried to put a stop to the false gurus? That is, put pressure on them, to put them out of business, so to speak. Srila Prabhupada: no, that is not my purpose. I started my movement simply by chanting Hare Krishna. I chanted in New York in a place called Tompkins Square Park, and soon people began to come to me. In this way, the Krishna consciousness movement gradually developed. Many accepted and many did not accept. Those who are fortunate have accepted. Reporter: don't you feel that people are suspicious because of their experience with fake gurus? If you went to a quack dentist and he broke your tooth, you might be suspicious about going to another dentist. Sri Prabhupada: yes, naturally. If you are cheated, you become suspicious. But this does not mean that you are cheated once. You will always be cheated. You should find someone genuine. But to come to Krishna consciousness, you must be either very fortunate or well aware of this science. From the Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the genuine seekers are very few. Manusyanam sahasrasu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Bhagavad Gita 7.3. Out of many millions of people, there may be only one who is interested in spiritual life. Generally, people are interested in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So how can we expect to find many followers? It is not difficult to notice that people have lost their spiritual interest, and almost all those who are actually interested are being cheated by so-called spiritualists. We cannot judge a movement simply by the number of its followers. If one man is genuine, then the movement is successful. It is not a question of quantity, but of quality. Reporter: I wondered how many people you think might have been taken in by fake gurus. Srila Prabhupada: practically everyone. Laughter. There is no question of counting everyone. Reporter: this would mean thousands of people, wouldn't it? Srila Prabhupada: millions. Millions have been cheated because they want to be cheated. God is omniscient. He can understand your desires. He is within your heart. And if you want to be cheated, God sends you a cheater. Reporter: is it possible for everyone to attain the perfectional stage you spoke of previously? Srila Prabhupada: within a second. Anyone can attain perfection within a second, providing he is willing. The difficulty is that no one is willing. In the Bhagavad Gita 1866, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityagya mamekam saranam vraja. Simply surrender unto me. But who is going to surrender to God? Everyone says, oh, why should I surrender to God? I will be independent. If you simply surrender, it is a second's business, that's all. But no one is willing, and that is the difficulty. And reporter: when you say that lots of people want to be cheated, do you mean that lots of people want to carry on with their worldly pleasures and at the same time, by chanting a mantra or by holding a flower, achieve spiritual life as well? Is this what you mean by wanting to be cheated? Yes, this is like a patient thinking, I shall continue with my disease, and at the same time, I shall become healthy. It is a contradictory. The first requirement is that one become educated in spiritual life. Spiritual life is not like something one can understand by a few minutes talk. There are many philosophy and theology books, but people are not interested in them. That is the difficulty. For instance, the Srimad Bhagavatam is a very long work. If you try to read this book, it may take many days just to understand one line of it. The Bhagavatam describes God, the absolute truth, but people are not interested. And if one by chance somehow becomes a little interested in spiritual life, he wants something immediate and cheap. Therefore he is cheated. Actually, human life is meant for austerity and penance. That is the way of Vedic civilization. In Vedic times, they would train boys as brahmacharis. No sex life was allowed at all up to the age of 25. Where is that education now? A brahmachari is a student who lives a complete celibacy and obeys the commands of his guru at the Gurukul, the school of the spiritual master. Now schools and colleges are teaching sex from the very beginning, and 12 or 13-year-old boys and girls are having sex. How can they have a spiritual life? Spiritual life means voluntarily accepting some austerities for the sake of God realization. That is why we insist on no illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, or intoxication for our initiated students. Without these restrictions, any yoga meditation or so-called spiritual discipline cannot be genuine. It is simply a business deal between the cheaters and the cheated. Okay. So thank you very much. That's the end of that. That was called Saints and Swindlers. So you can see that it's very important, and there's lots of good points there. I wonder if there's any questions just on what you heard. Okay, so I can just mention a few things. One thing that was really stood out to me was that Srila Prabhupada spoke about. He mentioned a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 8. And it's Tesam Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadame Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayantite. So he says that for one who's devoted to serving with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So what he's saying here is that if we're actually genuine and sincere, Krishna will reciprocate. So the thing is not to just listen to the desires or whatever our mind suggests, but I was reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam of this devotee called Prahlad Maharaj, and then he prayed a prayer like this, which was, I simply pray that I will be engaged in your devotional service, and for whatever material desires that may be abiding in my heart, that you will simply just not notice these or look beyond these. So that's what we have to be like in our search for the truth, is to sincerely pray to please forgive the misgivings of my heart, and please lead me to your shelter, like that. So I think that's enough for today's class, unless there's any more questions or any questions. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll be having more kirtan, and there'll be Gaur Arati starting at 7. So, Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Sorry?
Did
Govinda.
Yeah, did Govinda Prabhu give you this? Oh, he didn't. He said he was going to give it to you, to give it to me.
We didn't
Are you
give-
coming tomorrow morning?
No, I am coming tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
so sorry for me. I had this very special Nashina Kavicha, and it had a very special thing, but I lost it.
Oh, he didn't give it to me. And maybe he doesn't have it. He doesn't
No,
have it.
he said to me this morning, he has it, he's going to give it to you, to give it to me.
Okay, so tomorrow he'll give me.
Should we do Kirtan, Prabhu?
He's going on the altar.
Okay. One of the most annoying things that I hate is when someone's giving a class and kids are just running around.
I know. I told one of them, to take the child was running around.
I was listening
No
to it.
respect for anybody,
Yes, stupidly. When they try and smile at me and their kids are running, I don't smile back. I just tell them I'm serious. Anyway, let's just do Kirtan now. Oh, but who's going to sing Guarati? Not me. I'm just singing Hari David. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pachane Nivashishma Shanyavadi Pashtachadi Shatane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine You're going to sing Guarati. I can't sing. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashachadeshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vaishnav, you're going to sing, yeah? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Shri Radhe. Hare Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Nitta Gaura Haribo, Nitta Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitta Gaura Haribo.
Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So if everyone can please stand up for the Aarti ceremony, and if you can come forward, move forward, so then those people who want to join, they can come into the temple room. As the Aarti is being performed, we will sing this song, the Gaura Aarti song. So the lead singer will sing one line, and then if you can sing the line that is sung, then you will go on to the next line, and then we'll go on to chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe Jaya Radha Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jai Gaura Nitai बोलिए 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 जय जय गौर चांद आरती को शोभा जय Please try to follow the words. They're on the sheet there. Arati ko shobha jayo jayo Gaura Chande Arati ko shobha can't hear myself, man. Jana vitatavane jagamana lobha dakhe nanitai ta Dhara dakhe nane chandame gadana dakhe nane tai chand bame gadadhara dakhe boliye boliye Nikate Advaita Srini Vasa Chatradhara Nikate Bolo bolo Nikate Advaita Srini Vasa Chatradhara Nikate Advaita Srini Bosi Ache Gaura Chan रत्न सिंहासने बसे আছে বসে আছে গৌরচাঁদ রত্ন সিংহাসনে আরতি করে না ব্রহ্মা আদি দেবা গানে আরতি করে না আরতি করে না ব্রহ্মা আদি দেবা গানে आरती को जय श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय हो नारा हरे आदि करे चामरा धुलाय नारा हरे आदि करे चामरा धुलाय जय जय संजय मुकुंद वासु घोषादि गाय संजय मुकुंद आदि गाय जय जय संजय मुकुंद वासु घोषादि गाय शंख बाजे घंट बाजे बाजे करताला बोलो 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 शंख बाजे घंट बाजे बाजे करताला माधुरा मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला माधुरा माधुरा मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला ओ शंख बाजे गंध बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे ओ शंख बाजे घंट बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे ओ माधुर 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 बाजे ओ शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे ओ जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय Bahu koti chandra jene vadana ujvala. बोलिए बोलिए बाहो कोटे चंद्र जने वदन उज्ज्वला देशे वनमाला कोरे झालमाला माला देशे वनमाला Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Te Namine Chaitanya Das Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Prabhupada Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Everyone boliye Krishna Krishna You should know this one Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare With all your heart Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bolo 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Everyone ताली बजाइए हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. प्रेम से Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, you're in front of the Lord. Hari Bol. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Indro Sarvo Tango Yasmare Pundarikaksha Savhaya Bhangarasmi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Can everyone raise their hands in the air? Raise your hands, rise nice and high. Looking at the Lord, repeat after me. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. In this age of Kali, it is very easy to make Krishna happy. All you have to do is raise your hands in front of the Lord and chant His name. So we're going to do the same thing. Hands a bit higher, voices a bit louder. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare Hare. If you can find space around you, please bow down. If not, simply fold your hands in front of the Lord. Repeat after me. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Astotar Sat Shri Srimad Shilayesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Astotar Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की नीलाचल क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री भक्ति वेदांत मानर धाम की गंगा जमुना मैया की जय भक्ति प्रदानी तुलसी महारानी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद भगवान की जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय गौर निताय की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So you can please take a seat. Please sit down. We have a few minutes left before the end of the Aarti today. Firstly, we'd like to welcome and thank you all for joining us. The Aarti is not just yet finished, so please sit down. Couple more minutes. We'll sing a small prayer to Lord Narasimha. We request our very dear Parama Karuna Prabhu.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralad lad daine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shri भरतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामे ततो नरसिंहा नाहि नरसिंहा हृदय नरसिंहा नारासिंहामदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नारासिंहामदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमलवरे अद्भुत शृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु कानुमृंगा केशवद्रीका नरहरिरूपा हरि जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवद्रीका नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hare Krishna. Once again, we'd like to thank you all for coming. Just a couple of announcements. See, many of you, some of you have come here for the first time. Okay, welcome. Thank you. This year is a very special year. 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan being here. So, for 50 years, you've only come for the first time. Krishna has been here for 50 years. So I just wanted to say this because we'll have many programs and events happening through the year. 21st of August marks the day when Radha Gokulananda were installed by Swami Prabhupada in 1973. This Sunday coming, we have a 50th anniversary program with one of the original devotees who helped find Bhaktivedanta Manor. So back in 1970, from 69 to 73, they were looking, and finally in 73 they found the place. So we have one of our original founders, His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu, coming from his travels. He'll be spending some time here on Sunday, the 4th of June, in the Sri Krishna Haveli from 5 to 7. We have a program, so this is this coming Sunday. If you have the time, you're more than welcome to join us. We also have this same month on the 18th, 19th and 20th, which is Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, a very special guest, His Holiness Vrindavan Chandra Swami, who is traveling from India, who will be doing a Bhagavad Katha for 3 days here in the Sri Krishna Haveli. So, and this will be in Hindi. So if you connect with Hindi, then this is your opportunity to come and take part in a 3-day Bhagavad Katha program. Again, all the information is there on krishnatemple.com. Right at the top, you'll be able to see all the upcoming events. So please, this is a special year. Keep your eyes out. Keep a star on krishnatemple.com. You can always come and there'll always be something happening at the manor. So once again, thank you so much for coming this evening. One more last announcement before we close. This Wednesday, not tomorrow, the day after, is a very special day. It is Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. So some of you may know about Ekadashi. When Bhimsen, the Bhimsen of the Pandavas, he was asked to fast. In our culture, fasting is very important. Bhimsen said, sorry, not possible. He said, no, you have to fast. He goes, no, I cannot fast. And then he felt very bad. Okay, he's telling his senior, he's not going to follow the instruction. So then he said to Guru Vyas that, look, there is 24 Ekadashis in a year. I cannot do them all. I'll bend the rule, I'll do one Ekadashi. You tell me which one is more special. So then Vyasadeva, he mentioned that the Ekadashi which is coming in 2 days, you do this Ekadashi completely, you get the benefit. If you broke the other Ekadashis, everything will be nullified. You will get the benefit of following all Ekadashis. So Wednesday, put it in the diary, no breakfast cereal, no grains, fruits and herbs is okay. But there's a whole system of Ekadashi. You can always learn more on our website as well. But please, very special day, try to maximize on the benefit. You can do your puja at home, but you come to the temple. Why? Because here there is an opportunity to maximize your spiritual experience. There is dancing, there is singing. If you do this at home, your wife, your husband will think something's gone wrong. Right? I'm just joking. But here, you get the grand darshan. So many devotees are here. You can dance, you can chant. No one's looking at you. Even if you have a bad voice, you just cry out loud. Make Krishna happy. So this is an opportunity to maximize. Similarly, days like Ekadashi are just another day in the calendar, but it's a day to maximize. That is the day where Krishna is giving his backing. You do little bit, I'll give you maximum. So please try to maximize these opportunities that we get. Thank you so much. Have a safe travel home. We have some prasad just next door. Please take something. If you are here and you would like to stay, the next aarti is at 9 p.m. and temple will close at 9:30. So before that, you must be out. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.